What is going on, guys? It is your boy Seso here, bringing you guys on a Photoshop / Cinema 4D tutorial. So that means, of course, 3D tutorials here today. So I thought it was pretty cool that I did like the tropical banner thing like almost like a year ago, almost like 9-10 months ago. The tropical banner, I actually had like a cool little render with like cool little leaves. I just put it on top of a picture. And for this tutorial here today, I want to show you guys like a really cool forest manipulation. We're actually putting like your text inside the forest, giving it depth, giving it that really cool manipulation feel. And for the example here, I have, of course, the word forest. I kind of like, I could have fixed the F to make it look like more of, it's an F, but it could be an E for all who knows, but whatever, right? Just for an example. So we have F-O-R-E-S-T, the T is behind this little leaf right here, and then we have this leaf coming out behind, or in front, excuse me, of the forest here. You can do a lot of stuff with this, like, it's really cool. It's just like basic clipping, lighting effects, all that crazy stuff. If you're not really into like, manipulation, you really know how to do it, I'm pretty sure this tutorial here will show you guys how to do a really dope design, so we'll make sure we figure this out. So all the stuff that you're going to be needing, which it's not really that you need, you can make your own if you wish to, but for like the render itself and stuff, all this, like basically all the leaves I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using 2 leaves, right, for the example. The leaves will be in the description down below for you guys to use. I'll put all this stuff, including like the materials that I'm going to be using in this tutorial, the Lightroom itself, the HDRI, all that stuff will be in the description down below. So yeah, that's gonna just be for you guys if you guys want to use them, but I'm gonna show you guys how I made them as well, just because, right? So really quickly, of course, guys, 200 likes on the video equals the secret down below, so most likely gonna get the PSD of what's into here, right? So this is the original image that I have here. It's kind of like pretty choppy or whatever, or the quality wise, I didn't really care. I just wanted something really messy, like, a lot of objects I can like put things in front of, and you can see I have like the leaf right here, this leaf right here, all that stuff I can put in front of it. So this is what I had. This is what I finished off with. The Gaussian blur kind of fixed the quality for me. So yeah, we're pretty much done with the explaining part. Like I said, you're gonna be learning today is like shadows, lighting effects, and just making things pop out and do really cool things. That's basically like the gist of it. So yeah. For the leaves, by the way, like I just used a simple, I just literally typed in leaf vectors or leaf stocks or whatever, and I found like a cool little leaf pattern, just a whole bunch of leaves on this little template here, I guess you can say. I basically used this leaf right here, and including this one as well, and this one right here. Either way, same freaking leaf, but I penciled out this one, and the way you can do that really quick, I'll just show you right now. The way you get objects from Cinema 4D, or excuse me, from Photoshop to Cinema 4D, and recognize that you're going to be using something that's flat. You can tell that this is like a leaf, right? It's like a leaf. Most leaves are pretty flat in shape. It's no like round curvature, like, not really no like sphere shape to like leaves. So that way like leaves can really work for this kind of stuff. Something like a, I don't know, something like, Jesus, like something else. What am I trying to think of? Something like a bowling ball, sure, wouldn't work. Because let's just say like a bowling ball, let's just say you like penciled out like a perfect circle. This is not a perfect circle, but if you pencil this out and you extract it, expecting like when you put the extrude numbers on it to actually make it round, it's not. So that's what I mean. So something like leaves work out. So the way I did this, I used the pen tool, which is the shortcut P on your keyboard, and pretty much what I did was click and drag. When you click the second time, you drag. That way you get these 2 extended points coming out here, and it gets some really nice curvature for the leaves. Just leave the second, you can see this little extended point right here. I'm holding Control, that way I can actually control the extended point of this one right here. So you can see 2 different extended points here. They can be 2 different lengths. One can be long, one can be short. The shorter it is on the second, little extension point here, when I click again, the less the curve is going to be. You can see the curve is very less, but if I just put this up a little bit, the curve gradually gets more, curved. So with that being done, like just say if you want to make like a nice sharp corner, or a sharp, let's just say like if I just click over here for a second, this is a rounded edge, right? This is very rounded, but if you wanted it to be a point, all you have to do is hold Alt, click once, and now when you click again, it'll be a nice little point and no more rounded edges. So that's all I did for this. I just basically went around, clicked once, just fixed the drag over here. I basically penciled this out pretty gosh darn perfectly. I gave my own little leaf kind of feel to it. Really, to me, this is just like very simple stuff, right? You're just basically tracing a leaf or whatever of your choice, or an object of your choice. Doesn't really matter. I know this tutorial is about like leaves and foresty and stuff, but it doesn't really have to be it only. So yeah, and I went all the way around, and basically to extract it, I went to File, export path to Illustrator, drop down work path, then you press OK, and you can see I have my first, my 1 and 2 leaves right here that I already have for the tutorial, and I saved it, and that way all you have to do is just drag the file into Cinema 4D, it opens up in a new window, and you're good to go. So that's how I did it. So that's when I get to this part, you don't have to actually be like, how the hell does he get to this part? You know, that's how I did it. So we're done. I already said 2 likes on the video because it's down below. But regardless, I'm gonna say it again. So I hope you guys enjoy something like this, and we'll just show the example one more time before we move on, because we're gonna be doing the text first for this tutorial. You can see it's very freaking, I'm in love with the style of this. It's really fun. Let's go right here, right now. So what you gotta do, of course, start off with Mograph mode text. That way I can get a text going on here, and I'm gonna line this in the middle. That way we can have the text directly in the middle. I'll give you the Lightroom, by the way. The Lightroom also has a Sky HDRI, which means this little thing right here. So when we put materials on that have reflections and all that cool stuff, we will be able to have a good time and it'll look really, really nice. So I'm gonna change my font to Kenyan Coffee, by the way. That's what I use in the example as well. So Kenyan Coffee starts with a K. So it's up here, right there, right here, right. This is what I'm using. If you type this in Google or defont.com, I probably got this font from there. So you can do that if you wish to. I will use the word forest. And the depth we will actually change really quickly. I want to show you guys what it's doing. The depth, of course, is this right here, the width of a part of these, like it's making it 3D, right? So the depth, I'm going to change it to about like 80 or so. That's pretty good. So because I want to actually move each of these letters, give it like a little bit more of a crooked feel, or like, kind of like, you know, this is like very, you know, obviously it's rotated and stuff. I'm going to give that just a little bit to this right here. So all you have to do is, if you're like really new to, you know, Cinema 4D or whatever, or if you're not new, if you don't know how to rotate each letter one by one without actually writing one by one letter with Mograph mode text, if you write the entire letter in a mode text, you can just press C on your keyboard or right click on the mode text and make editable, just like so. So if I do that, press C on my keyboard, if I just drop down till I get to the group where it says forest, if I click the group one more time, now you can see all different letters within the group and that you can actually rotate on your own. So with that being done, we'll just take the F and we'll just give it like a little rotation, and the O we'll just give it like a little bit, something like, nothing dramatic. I don't want anything crazy. Let's just, yeah, something along these lines. Nothing crazy, right? That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's nothing bad. I'm actually going to take the R, the O, and the F and just move them back just a little bit. There we go. Alright, sweet. That's fine. Alright, so once you have your like rotated stuff, all that cool stuff with your text, whatever you want to do. Also, by the way, before I do anything else, I'm going to actually shift click on all this. You can do this before you actually make the Mograph editable. I'm going to shift click on all this though really quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my caps, go to my start and my end right here. I'm going to change them both to fillet cap, just like so. Right now they're both at fillet cap. Your step changes, actually doesn't change, it just stays 1, but your radius for both of them are going to be 0.7. So once you put 0.7, you can press enter on your keyboard, and I'm going to go to my radius on the second one right here for the end and put 0.7. And this way it's going to give our text just a little bit of rounded edge, almost not like really rounded edge, it's still very sharp, but it's just a little rounded, just so enough, it just gives it like a really nice smooth look to it. I've always done it, it always looked good to me. If you want to, you can try to put all of them into, at 2 if you want like more of a bubbly look to it, but for me, I like this, and we're going to go with this. So, what I can do right now, just because I'm pretty much done with the text for now, I can change the color of it, just dragging my material onto the mode text, and I'm going to change the projection from UV mapping or UVW mapping to, not frontal, cubic, and put it on seamless as well. And for the, just really quickly, the materials that I'm using will also be in the description down below for you guys. They're basically color, right? They're color, changing my color to like a nice little dark brown. Reflection is on actually texture Fresnel. So pretty much I went to texture, drop it down to Fresnel, and I just changed my brightness and my mix strength to, my brightness is 20%, my mix strength is 25%, and since I'm also in a Lightroom that has, you know, an HDRI, it has like a scene in it, right? I want to make sure I have blurriness on. Otherwise, if your reflection is going to show off what is basically the scene. Like if you look right here for a second, I'm not sure if it actually updates, but if I press 0, you can see like a tree. This is like a tree, this is mountains, and maybe like a street right here. But if I put my blurriness on, you really can't like tell what's going on. It just looks like light. It looks like realistic, fun light. So with that being said, make sure you have, if you're going to use reflection and using my Lightroom or your own Lightroom with a sky and HDRI, make sure you have blurriness on, and you can thank me later. So, and of course, like in a little environment, which is kind of like a masked texture of like a tree. Pretty cool, simple stuff, right? So, with that being said, let's go to the leaves. Now, I showed you guys how I put them inside to Cinema 4D, but let's show you guys how to actually make them 3D. So, I'm going to use this leaf as my first example. I'll put this, we're going to make this leaf the first little example here. So, if you have different paths, right? If I told you I pen tooled out this leaf right here, there are two different paths here. You have one path that's right here, and then one path here. And if you went all the way around, of course, you're going to have multiple paths. So that's what you have inside Cinema 4D. Something like this leaf right here, the other one that I pen tooled out, one right here, is all one path, right? Once you pen tool all this out, it's all going to be one path. So simply enough, you're going to see that this one only actually has one path. So with that being said, just know that if you do multiple paths, you're going to actually have to put multiple extrude NURBs into each of these paths. So the way you do that pretty quickly is, besides actually clicking on the NURBS tab, going into extrude NURBS, and dragging your path inside, that's pretty freaking tedious. Although you can't really get out of the tediousness, but you can click on one path, right? Hold Alt, and then select the NURBS tab, go to Extrude NURBS, and while holding Alt, it will actually put the path into the Extrude NURBS really quickly, automatically, and that way you can do this pretty fast. Just by holding Alt, go into the Extrude NURBS tab, and there you go. For some reason that is out of place. Not really entirely sure why at all, but we shall fix that. There we go. I can just close all this stuff down really quickly, and there we go. All right, so I'm gonna just really quickly figure out why this is like that, and we'll fix it, throw that back into the same orientation as the other leaves. So, same thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually shift click on all these extreme NURBS, go to my caps, start and end, make sure they're both fill a cap again, and we're gonna put the 0.7 one more time. Just like so. That way they're kind of like more rounded, very more, it's just, you know, to me it looks better. And so, since I also have different paths for this leaf, I can, you know, take each individual like leaf petal here and like give it its own little like feel if I really want to, like something like that, right? Put that up a little bit, maybe throw that a little bit back, maybe make it a little bit more smaller, oops, which is like this one right here. It actually shrinks the scale just by clicking and moving to the left. And for stuff like this, move it to the left to shrink it. We'll rotate it a little bit. So this is what you could do if you have multiple paths, right, for like your leaf. But if you don't, it's whatever. You can also give it that really cool leaf look by using Twist, which is in the Distort tab. Well, I'll show you guys in 1 second after I figure that one out. Sure, that's fine. Anyway, the Twist, right? It's in your Distortion tab. You have things like Twist, Bend, Bulge. What else would probably work? Probably not wrap. Not really. Anyway, the way you use these things are, basically you have this all in one group, right? So what you're going to do is I'm going to take Twist. I'm just going to click on this, go to Twist. It's going to put bring the Twist in the layer itself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move the orientation so that the leaf is in the middle of the box. There we go. It's in the middle, pretty much in the middle. And so what this is going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the Twist, and for the distortions to work, you just take the distortion, you throw it all the way on the bottom of the group, and this way when you put the angle and you just change the angle, it's going to give it that twist. And since it is a leaf, I'm pretty sure Twist works pretty perfect for this, and it gives it that really nice look to the Twist, to the leaf. That way it looks more like a leaf, in my opinion. Like, it's very twisty, bendy, and if you really want to, if you want to take more time on this, maybe when you do each duplicate of the leaf, you probably want to change the Twist's angle. With that being said, the way you duplicate is you just click on the group itself, Control C, right? Oops, I just pressed something else. Control C, go to Windows, go back into your original Lightroom right here, and then all you gotta do is press Control V, and it'll actually make a duplicate for you. So now I can rotate this stuff, and the Twist will rotate with me. I can rotate this stuff here, and pretty much do like cool stuff like this. With the camera, by the way, I use this a lot. It's under this tab right here, of course, the camera tab. And if you don't use a camera, or if you're not using my Lightroom, use a camera for this. You know, when it's on white, put it where you think like this is like the final image. This is where you're gonna render it at. This is where you want to put it as white. when you click on this white box, it makes it black. This is where you kind of want to move around. So I can see I can now move around and fix my little leaf over here and give it like the cool look that I want it to, right? Something like that. And if I want to click back on it, I want to say, all right, boom, I like that. It looks cool. You can do something like that, right? So make sure you actually utilize camera because it will help you out, and no more like, you know, tedious rotating to actually get back to see what it looks like. Very quick, nice little tool there. And you can see I press Control C and Control V to make a duplicate of it, of the layer, the leaf layer. And I'm pretty much just going to use the same rotation or the same twist stuff. I'm just going to take it and maybe make it a little more smaller. We're going to take it, we're going to move it like in front of something. Let's just move, let's put it in between like the R and the O right here. And we're just going to take it, rotate it so it kind of like fits in between. I'm going to move it. I'll move it with the little axis here. And this will take you a lot of time. And for me, I feel like the way to make sure that this doesn't come out very like, not mediocre, but like make it look realistic, or not to the point where it's like, you know, obviously like, you know, whatever, not completely realistic, but believable. That, you know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to say here is just make sure you're just not clipping through a lot of things. Like this is clipping pretty like badly, but like just enough like for the stem to actually show. See right here, it's, you know, it's clipping right here. I don't want that. If I wanted to clip, I maybe like clip just a little bit, you know, somewhere like it's not in front of the text. There we go. Not bad. It's not clipping terribly. So to make sure your design or your render itself comes out the best way possible, try not to clip too much through it. Like something like ridiculous like this. By the way, I'm holding Control and I'm moving to actually make a duplicate the other shortcut way. I didn't hold Control. There we go. Oh, or is it Alt? No, it's definitely Control. Click on this right here. Holding Control, moving it. There we go. Made a duplicate. I don't know why I didn't do it the other 2 times, but that's what I'm doing to also make a duplicate of it. What I mean by like the whole clipping stuff, if I had a pretty big one, and let's just say you want to put a leaf right here, if you leave it like that, it just looks, it bothers me, because it's not like real. It doesn't look, you know, you're not trying to make this look ridiculously real. I'm not trying to say that, but, you know, just keep in mind to make sure your design looks as best as possible, is give it the time that it needs, you know, put it in a spot that it kind of works the best. Just, you know, don't really rush it just to put leaves where you kind of like want them. So something like that, it's a lot better. We'll take it, make another duplicate of it. I'll make a pretty big leaf here, and I'll just throw it behind things. Something like that. Sure, why not? Let's do like another one, and then we'll use the other leaf, and then we'll fill some spots out. We'll put this one, I kind of want to put it right there. So, oops, don't want to actually do that on the white box. Make sure this is black. And we'll go ahead and move that like in between here. Alright, so pretty much this is like the only part where it's going to get really tedious and stuff. Like this is the part where you're like really designing. I'm not like putting my mine in like the best positions because I don't want to waste too much time while doing this. Although I've already wasted pretty much a good load of time. But regardless, you guys want to see most of it, how it's created and stuff. So for me, it's pretty much worth it. So I think this is okay, but I can't really see the leaf itself. But let's just move it like, maybe like that. Right, I want it to clip through the F though. It's not what I want. There we go. Oh, it's kind of annoying me that I need to put like one of these over like here. See, this is, you know, the designer in me, dude. I can't just leave some spaces open. I need something over here. I don't know. Oh, right there. Perfect. Like right where the T is. Oh, perfect. See, now I'm happy. I'm pretty content. Anyway, to colorize these leaves, it's the same thing that I did for the text here. I'm going to take one of the colors. These are actually 2 different color greens. You can see this on the spectrum right here. Take one of the colors, throw that on this one, and we're actually going to take the projection, make sure we change it to cubic, and we're going to hold Control, and I'm just going to skip each one. That way I give myself a nice even tone of color. When I put the other one, I'll put it in between the next one. Make sure I put it on cubic as well. in between the other ones. That way there's actual 2 different colors. You can use multiple colors if you want to. I'm only using 1, so that when I render this out really quickly for you guys to show you guys the little example, it's gonna be pretty nice. And of course the blurriness on the HDRI, you won't be able to see like, you know, crazy like, you know, objects inside the HDRI. You'll be able to just see like a nice cool, you know, like you see like something like this, like a nice reflection in different spots, makes it look really nice and cool. So with that being said, that's pretty much the whole Cinema 4D portion of it. It's just really me placing leaves in just different, like, you know, spots, like rotating the text as much as you want. So pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. So yeah, I will show you guys the render settings right now in a quick second. I just want to show you guys at least some of this, a little bit of this, right? You can see it's looking really nice or whatever. I'll show you guys the final render when I actually finish rendering it. But for the render settings, all you have to do is I have my output set to all this stuff right here. Pretty much current frame is the only thing you really got to know about, and 1920 by 1080, resolution 72. You can probably bump that up to like 200 if you want to. Really doesn't matter, in my opinion, if 72 is your go-to. The save portion, of course, you save your file in whatever spot you want to. I'm just going to save this as tutorial. And, of course, make sure your alpha channel is selected. This will make your background transparent. Ambient inclusion, all the settings are as followed, so you can just go ahead and copy those if you want to. Global illumination, copy this as well. And then sharpen filter, just a little bit of sharpen, 5%. And that's my render settings. So we'll throw this into Photoshop, and we'll show you guys all that cool stuff and how to actually make it look like it's inside the picture. And so yeah, I'll see you guys when I get into Photoshop. Alright guys, the render is completed. So I kind of wish I put like a little bit more stuff in here or whatever, but this can work. It's not terrible. This is the one I had for the original example. And this is the color I actually had before it, and I wasn't really feeling this. This looks more like a tropical theme, right? And this is the one I have for the actual example that I showed you guys in the beginning. This is the one I have, you know, turned it up with. It's fine. It looks good. So that's why it didn't take too long at all, actually. 2 minutes, 42 seconds, nothing crazy, right? So I already have it inside Photoshop, and we're ready to make it look something like this, right? It's gonna be freaking dope, I promise. So, so pretty much right now you can already see that there's just nothing really going on. It doesn't look like anything, no crazy lighting going on. So to start this off, I'm actually gonna do the little like masking cuts. And for some reason, I saw like a quick face here, and I was like, "What the hell am I tripping?" There's no face. It's just like it was like a really quick glimpse, like right there. Anyway, I'm done sidetracking. I'm gonna do like a quick little like clipping mask kind of thing. I'm just gonna like mask things out to make things look like it's in front of the forest text. So that's pretty much that's not really lengthy or whatever. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it though. I probably do it a little bit differently. So right now I'm actually gonna make a duplicate from the forest here picture. I'm gonna call it 1 just for now. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need more duplicates probably as well, but for now I'm gonna need just 1. So with that being done, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of just lower the opacity of forest, right? This is my little text that I have here. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing as I did before, right? I'm gonna take the leaf that's right here and throw it in front of this right here. So the way we're gonna actually do that is we're gonna make a, we really have to make a new layer. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the leaf that's right here, and I'm actually gonna pen tool this out. And the trick to this is pretty much just leave your pen tooling to like, you know, giving it your all, right? You gotta make sure that the pen tool is looking really nice. Let's just, I'm gonna lower the a little bit down, just a little bit more for the little leaf. So right there, it kind of like follows along this line right here. Right, and then I'm just gonna go ahead, and the way I'm gonna cut it off is just something like this, like that, right? And so for this, all I'm really doing is I'm pretty much just cutting out this leaf, this part of the leaf right here. I don't know if I want to keep like the stem in, but it's fine if I don't know. I don't actually know if it'll look fine or not. We'll check right now. But I'll put the forest back in for you guys. The little text here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead on the new layer. I'm going to right click on the little pen tool I have here, right click, make selection. That way it makes a selection of my pen tooling path. So make sure this is at 0 pixels. You press OK, and then pretty much all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press M on my keyboard, which is like the letter M, or like go to the rectangle marquee tool. I'm gonna right click, and this will actually allow me to put layer via cut. And then with layer via cut, I now have basically the leaf that I pen tooled out in this one layer. So I'm just gonna call this leaf for T. And I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this now. I don't need this duplicate. I'm going to make another one just in case I need it again for whatever reason. I'm going to throw this above the word tutorial. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the word tutorial, put the opacity back up. And now you can see it is cut out. And it kind of does look weird. I kind of should have pen tooled it out right there. So the straight edges, obviously no straight edges. That's like a no-no. I don't even know why I did that in the beginning. We're gonna fix that right now. So we're gonna go ahead and just Control-Alt-Z all the way back, and then we're just gonna go ahead and fix this. So of course it's gonna be tedious. It's not gonna be perfect every time I do it, but whatever, right? This is pretty. It's not a terrible fix. So something like this could work for me, and then we'll do something like that. I don't want a straight point though either. We'll just we'll take this really quickly, and we'll hold Alt, and we'll give it like a nice little curve, just like that. Will that work? Let's see. Right click, make selection, press OK. Make sure I'm selected on the copy layer. Go to rectangle marquee tool, right click, layer via cut. We can delete this. We'll make another copy for later. Drag this above the word tutorial. And let's see if this works. Is this better? And I'm pretty sure that does look better in my opinion. All right, so it looks better. The T is just a little bit cut. You really can't tell it's like more of a T. I kind of wish I cut more going this way, but that's besides the point. So to make it look like it's more like, you know, actually just not like a cut photo above the T here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a new layer, put it below that cut out leaf. We're gonna take a brush. We're gonna use a black brush, right? And we're gonna go ahead and just give it some shadow. And like I said, I'm not really happy about only a little bit of this showing that, because if you looked at the word, you wouldn't be able to tell this is a T right away unless you like search for it. But who knows? Maybe I can say like, oh, I did that on purpose, dude. It's a force. Of course you got to search for something. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna give this a little bit of shadow. Right? I'm not gonna use like drop shadow or anything. I'm gonna do it manually and give it a little bit of shadow. That way it looks like it's placed over the letter T. And I'm gonna go ahead and just lower the opacity down a little bit. Right? So it gives it that look that's actually above the T. So this is where like a whole, like, you know what I'm talking about, like clipping and masking and like, you know, shadowing comes in for like manipulation. So now you can kind of see that the T almost looks like it's, you know, inside the picture, right? So I'm going to do the same thing that I did over here for this big leaf with that little lizard guy, right? Lower the opacity of the text again. And we're going to go ahead and pen tool this lizard dude out. So we're going to go ahead and take this leaf and I'm going to cut out a part, maybe like I'll cut from like here. There we go. And, you know, when you do cut this kind of stuff out, you got to think about it, right? You got to make sure that it's not a straight edge cut like I did over here. You can, I totally did that straight edge cut on purpose just to show you guys not to do that. But I'm just saying, right? You don't want to make sure you do like straight edge cuts. So I'm going to put like a little loop right here. That way it looks a little bit cooler, right? It kind of like makes it still a leaf. So for this, I'm just going to pen to this little guy out, right? I'm going to do it pretty quickly. Don't ever do this, what I'm doing right now. You always want to make sure you're doing it right. But this is one of those, like, you know, do it by as I say, now as I follow kind of things. Just going to make sure, because it's whatever. I can get close into this, but the picture's quality itself is not great. But it'll work for me for the tutorial purposes, right? And I can still see that this is the F right here. It ends right here. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to finish off his little tail. And I'm just going to cut around like this way. And we'll cut it so that this leaf goes down this way, over this way, and then it finishes right here. Or no, not that. I don't know if I gotta finish it like over here. So what I have to do actually is I'm gonna go ahead and fix this just a little bit. We're gonna take this point right here, drag it out a bit. Actually no, because what this is actually doing, this is good that I'm messing up a little bit. What I'm actually doing is actually cutting out this only, but I want to make sure that this is actually cut out. So I'm actually gonna go the other way around. So that's where I'm like getting a little bit lost. So there we go. We're going to take this way and then we're cut it around this way. And it doesn't really matter that I'm just going all the way over here, but make sure you cut it out as perfect as you can because you are making a cut out of this. And with that being said, when you do something like this, since it is a duplicate, right? So when you actually like, you know, view it on the other thing, like the other duplicate behind the picture, or not the duplicate, but the original behind the picture, you want to make sure it's cut out at least somewhat good, but almost like it really wouldn't matter that much because it's still the same exact cutout, right? So now I can right click, make selection, press OK. On the new copy, press M on my keyboard, right click, layer via cut. I can delete this now. I don't really need a duplicate for now, but if I did, I would make a duplicate of it. And I'll put this above the word tutorial, and we will go ahead and turn this on just like so. And now we have the leaf in front of the word forest. So like I said, if I didn't pen tool this out right here that well, this is the same exact thing, right? Almost, you know, this is kind of messing up my vibe over here. If I kind of want to fix that a little bit. Something like that, right? we're just going to delete the rest because what's going to be behind it is still the picture and also the text right here. And yeah, that's perfectly fine with me. All right, sweet. But what I was just saying is if you don't have to like perfectly cut it out on this side, because if I just delete this part right here, it's a random cutout piece. If I just delete it, what's going to be behind it, of course the text as well, but the picture itself as well will still be there. If I just go back, Control Z, you know, this is actually still the same exact thing. I'm cutting things out. It's still the same exact picture. That's what I'm saying, make a duplicate of it, right? So for this, I'm actually going to do the same thing, make a new layer. So below that layer, I'm going to use that black brush. We're going to give it a little bit of shadow. I don't need too much shadow like right here, really. It's going to be more like on the leaf or on the like text itself for the leaf, right? From the leaf, not for the leaf. Nothing like crazy dramatic. There we go. Is that good? Maybe a little bit over here. Not too much, right? We'll lower the opacity down a little bit. There we go. All right, sweet. So basically now we have this little leaf coming out in front of this T, and now we also have this little guy as well coming in front of the word forest. So it's looking good. So really quickly for the lighting effects, all I'm going to really do at first, I'm going to actually use like a nice little, almost like a yellow. It's going to be yellow, just for like a little bit of sunlight. So like this is very, very seamless, how would you call it? Not like monochromatic yellow, but like a very, you can see that this is yellow, but it's still very near the white. So pretty much just give it a little bit of that sunlight look to it, right? For now, we'll just drop that down to like, we'll keep it for like 75 or so for now. And I'm going to press it again. I'm going to make another new layer, or Control Shift N if you wish to. And I'm actually going to take one of these greens. I'm holding Alt, by the way, and I have my brush already on. So if I hold Alt, I can actually select any color I want on this canvas, on these like little pictures. It's a really cool way to just get a nice little color. Excuse me. So really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and make a nice big brush. And we're going to click like somewhere right here and right here. And I'm going to select like this color right here. Just another like tier of green. So we have like 3 little splats of green. I'm going to go ahead and put this onto Linear Dodge Add. And it'll give me more like, almost not like natural light, but just like a little bit of fun light. I would just call it like, you know, design light, really. There's no like, you know, real light source in this right here, but it's looking really good. It pops out some color. I like how this looks, right? So for the rest of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use color correction. So I'm going to use brightness and contrast. I'm going to go negative for the brightness, and I'm going to go up for the contrast. So this is going to fix yourself. And I'm going to say, what do I like the most? I'm going to say negative 30 for the brightness for me, and 60 contrast. Looks pretty good, right? I do like how that looks. I'll put maybe like a little curve on it. Let's just see what a little S curve looks like, right? A little S curve looks pretty good. All right. And what I'm going to do really quickly as well, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to go ahead and use a nice little white right here for my foreground. That way when I click with my brush on the top, I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little light source right there. And then to finish this off, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use exposure. So I'm going to go ahead and put my offset up a little bit, and I'm going to put my gamma correction up, and we're going to see if we can find, oh yeah, that like perfect medium. Alright, that looks pretty freaking sexy. So for me, what exposure is doing right now is making the text not look like it's not supposed to be there. For me, exposure is actually going to fix the entire lighting of the entire project, lighting, and actually going to make it look like one whole picture. So that's what I like so much about this. And if I really want to, I can get in the nitty gritty, right? And I can put like a cool little maybe like a texture. I have like a texture on one of these things. I have like this texture. I'm just gonna take it really quickly, just so I can show you guys. I have like a texture, right? This is like a texture of like bark. I just got off of Google. Let's change off of multiply for a second, right? I also already have it erased or whatever. But let's just say if you want to put a texture above the text, you could do that. I just took it from my example, but whatever. Let's just put it in there. We'll just go ahead and put it on multiply. Where is it at? Just like so. And then we'll go ahead, lower the opacity down, and we can put a nice little texture on it. So if I want to, though, I don't want the texture on the leaf, really. Not too much on the leaf here. Right? And I want it to be on the text itself for sure. Right? That looks good. And so just because I already tell that this, like, the text itself is a little bit too dark, what I can do as well, make another new layer, use like a white brush. I can really, if I really wanted to, like, you know, really make it like a lot more vibrant or showable or viewable, I can put on an overlay, right, with a white brush, lower my opacity down. But I also want to do, What else I want to do? Like maybe a little light on the top of them. Like something like this. Like take my brush and like do a little bit of light like this. Just so it looks like the light is kind of like shining on the top of the text. And just a little bit on the T right there. Maybe like on the back right there. I will put this on overlay as well. And what we'll do is just erase it just a little bit. That way it looks a little bit more natural and cool. There we go. Now I got a little bit of light on the top. And there we go. It added a lot actually. And if I want to add a little more color, maybe like use like that orange that I had before. I think I used the orange from like here or something like that. Right? I don't know, what kind of color orange? Like something like that maybe? Nice little good sized brush. Click like once over there, once over here, once over there. Put on linear dodge add or screen. Let's see. Screen looks pretty good. I can lower my opacity down a little bit. And this will just give me a little bit more color. I want to put too much over there, not too much over here as well. I don't know, maybe just up top for now. But if I really want to, I can go really crazy with the lighting and stuff. I kind of want to put like just a little bit, something like over here. Linear dodge add. Okay, screen. Screen doesn't look as good as linear dodge add, but it's just like, I think it's just a brush hit that I did here. Oops. Use the eraser really quickly, and then like somewhere around here there, maybe, like lower the opacity a little bit. I don't know, you can get color over here as well. There we go. Right? So yeah, this is a pretty fun little project and stuff. So you can get really crazy with this. You can actually throw in your own like stocks from like, I don't know, leaf stocks or whatever. Throw them in front of the forest text itself and just enjoy it. Like, it's really cool. And then of course you have like your own leaves that look pretty cool with it. And it's just like a fun little project that you guys can do. So I really hope you guys taught you guys something about like manipulation maybe, or like clipping and like shadows and lights. If you guys want more tutorials like this, please leave a like, comment down below anything you guys want to see me do. Hopefully you guys make sure you download all the cool little stuff that I have in the description down below, for you guys to like use as your own. Thank you guys so much for freaking watching. Don't forget to check out my Sellfy, sellfy.com/SesoHQ for any premiums and packs. It's those $5. Also, please follow me on Twitter. I want to hit 10K soon. Like, come on, can we do that? Can you guys do that for me? If you guys don't follow me on Twitter yet, and you're an active viewer, like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, the hell? Okay, please. So yeah, love you guys so much. Thank you guys for the support. Like I said, 53K we should be hitting very soon. Thank you guys so friggin' much. It's ridiculous. I'll talk to you guys later. SesoHQ out. Peace.